Rahim, Al-Qamar, you tell me. This portion I covered, so I can ask from anyone. Al-Qamar, yes, what is a stimulus? Al-Qamar, what is the stimulus? Ukasha, Ukasha,
Yes, ma'am.
tell me what is the stimulus?
Ma'am, what?
What is a stimulus?
Mm. Ma'am, stimulus is a sudden reaction to something
It's
of the
a
body.
reaction? It's a reaction.
Yes, ma'am.
Stimulus is a reaction. No.
No.
Muhammad Adib,
Yes,
no.
ma'am.
Muhammad Adib.
Yes, ma'am.
What is a
Yes,
stimulus?
ma'am.
This is. I thought this.
Ma'am, a change in the environment to which an organism reacts is called stimulus.
So what means if I will ask one word, what is a stimulus? What you will say? One
A
word.
change
only.
in the environment.
Change or reaction? Stimulus is a change or a
In the
reaction.
environment.
What word is means like chosen for that stimulus? It's a change or it's a reaction? Stimulus. Tell me. Azra.
Ma'am, it is a reaction of organism.
It's a. No, it's not reaction of an organism. Yes, Vidyan. Vidyan.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what is a stimulus?
Ma'am, it's a change in environment.
It's a change in the environment. So the which word you will prefer out of two? Change or reaction? Change only. The stimulus is change in the environment or in surrounding or to just what you can say specific to the person you can say. So the change occur with the organisms around the organism. What the change occur, that is the stimulus. And what reaction with what action will be there of organism, that is what is that? Who will tell?
Response.
That is response. So a change in the environment, that is a stimulus, and because of that change, how the organism react or how the organism and means will act, that is called response. So I hope there is no confusion regarding stimulus and response now. So stimulus is change and response is the reaction of an organism. A change in the environment around the organism. Like it can be like the temperature fluctuation. Here when the temperature very high or very low, the organism react accordingly. When the very low temperature is there, the organism may start shivering. When the temperature high is there, the sweating starts. So that is response. Okay, I hope this is clear. Then what is nerve impulse? Shafia Iqbal. Nerve impulse. Aqsa Hussain. Aqsa Hussain. Shema. What is nerve impulses? Or what is nerve impulse or what are nerve impulses? Hmm.
Ma'am, nerve impulses. Ma'am,
Yes, nerve impulses.
ma'am, the nerve impulses means when the nervous system they send their like they send the message to the our body from these impulses, and these impulses are called nerve impulses.
Nerve impulses are the messages. Messages in the form of electrical impulses. So they are the electrical messages. They actually the means like here when we talk about nervous system, what is it? That's all means like we are talking about brain, spinal cord, and the nerves. And here the different body organs they control. They just what you can say controlled by the brain or the spinal cord. So how they are getting control on it? By sending the messages and all. How the brain get the messages and how the brain send the messages, this all through the electrical impulses, through the electrical messages. These are known as nerve impulses. Okay, so nerve impulses are the messages which are carried by the nerves for controlling or for fulfilling the process, for controlling the different body organ or for controlling the different functions of the body. Even the functions which are not in our control, means like the involuntary function, they are also they get command from the brain only. They are means the brain only control the internal organ. They send the messages through the nerves to the brain, and the brain inform to the internal organ through the nerves only. So the electrical impulses are they play very important role. These are the messages which the brain reads, and after that the organ reads. Organ also able to read that what electrical impulses comes to the organ, what the organ supposed to do. Now, nerve cell. So what do you understand with this word nerve cell? Raise your hand. Out of 25, only 5 hands are raised. Afifa Khan. What is nerve cell? Amar Zahid. At least say salam or at least say yes, so that I know that you are there in class.
Yes, ma'am.
What is nerve cell? If you don't know, you can say, ma'am, are not understood. But at least some response should be there. So nerve cell. Want to tell about nerve cell? What is nerve cell? Or not understood? Have you attended my previous classes?
Yes, ma'am.
So neuron I told you in lower classes also. Nerve cell or neuron is the same thing. So what is neuron? Don't have idea? Anyway. Sadiqa Shakil. Sadiqa. Sadiqa. Munazza.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, nerve cells, ma'am, our brain cells, nerve impulses, which are the electrical messages. So, these electrical impulses are conducted by specialized cells, which are called nerve cells or neurons. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now cell or neuron is the
You're not audible.
nerve cell or neuron is the structural and functional unit of nervous system. So what does it mean, structural and functional? Raise your hand.
Can I tell that?
Okay. Okay. Yes. Somebody was telling. Sadiqa was telling. Yes, Sadiqa.
To tell, but she is muted.
I muted. No.
She muted.
Who? Now you unmuted. You can tell.
Am I tell?
Acha, Munazza was muted by me. Setting I have opened.
Hey, यार ये क्या हुआ? Sorry. Oh, ma'am, I'm really sorry. Sorry, ma'am. Actually,
What?
neurons are called the structure and functional units because all the things are completely based on them. Although they are very small, but ma'am, they're the structure and functional unit of the nervous system because they are the main thing.
You just tell the in simple word structure. Who said?
Ma'am, they are the main organisms through which the entire system runs around. Without them, our control and nervous system was nothing. That is why they are called
These things fine, but
functional and structural unit of the nervous system.
functional and structural means the nervous system is made up of, means it's a functional and structural unit of nervous system. So nervous system is made up of neuron and all the function related to this nervous system, related to this nerve impulses, this is done here in neuron. Like example I told you, the cell is the structural and functional unit of our organism's body. Why? Because body is made up of cell and all the life processes occur inside the cell only. In the same way, here these neuron are the functional and structural unit. So nervous system is made up of neuron. Even brain or spinal cord or the nerves, they all are made with by this neuron, and all the functions occur in the neuron. They only do all function of the nervous system. Fine. So the this structural and functional unit means nervous system is made up of neuron and the functions of the this nervous system. So all processes are done here in neuron only. This is the meaning of it. Okay. So is it clear? If any confusion, can raise your hand.
Yes,
here so many hands all the time raised only. Raise your hand
I'm
at
really
the time.
sorry. Actually, I thought that my mic got muted and I spoke something in Hindi.
It's okay, no problem, it's okay. I have problem with those to whom I'm just calling a lot and they are not giving any response, not saying even yes. So I'm very much confused, they are there in class or not. So if you don't know the answer, if you will not give answer, there is no punishment at all. What I will do from means like online, nothing. Even on offline, I was not doing it. I means like it should be means for surety that you are here in class, you are listening me. If you are not giving any response, so I'm thinking just like you have uh, entered the class and doing something else. Okay, Rahma Khalid. Rahma Khalid. Rahma Khalid. Sadia.
Yes, ma'am.
Sadia. What is cell body? What is cell body?
Cell body.
Hmm.
The cell body is the ma'am. It is
Another name of cell body?
another name of cell body is
Mehtab Nadir. Mehtab Nadir. Mehtab Nadir. Swaliha Sultan. Muiz Khaliq.
yes, ma'am.
Swaliha Sultan. Yes. Tell me the another name of cell body. Muiz later after Swaliha. Yes.
Yes. Another name of cell body is cytosol.
Cyton. Yes, Muiz. What is cyton? Muiz. Cyton is another name of cell body. But now tell me what is cyton or cell body. Do you have some idea about it?
Yes, ma'am. Cell body is the central part of neuron.
Hmm.
It has nucleus
Hmm.
and it contains cytoplasm.
Hmm.
It is also called
Yeah.
cytoplasm.
It is also cell body is known as cytone and is a central part of the neuron, central body of the neuron, and it is contained cytoplasm and nucleus. Nucleus is centrally, means in the center. Apart from this cell body or cytone, what other parts are there in the nerve cell or neuron? Raise your hand.
And what is the question?
Apart from this cell body or cytone that just now we discussed, Ms. Khalik told just now, what other parts are there in nerve cell or neuron?
Ma'am, should I tell?
Who?
Ma'am, I tell?
Shafaq. And before that, who asked?
Adib.
Ma'am, Sadhika.
Sadiqa. Sadiqa, let Shafaq try. Then I will ask you. Yes, Shafaq. Shafaq, you can tell.
Cell or the neuron are the dendrites and the axon.
Dendrite and axon. So, what are dendrites and means explain the dendrites.
Okay, ma'am. So dendrites are the short cytoplasmic.
Dendrite are the
Should I tell, ma'am?
okay.
Should I tell, ma'am? Ma'am, also you know that the cell body consists of the cytoplasm and the nucleus. It also gives out, branched cytoplasmic projections, which are called the dendrites, and their function is to receive the stimulus and also to transmit the nerve impulses to the cyton. And yes.
Okay, good. So their function means the dendrite they further branched out into so dendron means dendron is further branched out into dendrite, and dendrites are the are actually the receiver. They receive the nerve impulses. So they work to receive the nerve impulses. They are very important work. They receive, and the sender are something else. The other part is sent to the other neuron. What is that, Shafaq? Dendrites are the receiver, and the sender are which part responsible for sending the impulses to the next neuron. Shafaq, I ask from you.
Should I tell?
You can tell, but Shafaq was telling, that's why I asked. Okay, you tell. Sadekha, yes.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
No, yes, you.
Ma'am?
Yes, I can. Tell me.
Ma'am, actually, I'm sorry I could not answer because currently at that time I was answering you, so one of the call, like one of my relatives were
Okay,
calling, so that's
okay.
why I couldn't answer.
Okay, now you tell me. As the dendrite's function is to receive the impulses, which other part are there which are responsible for sending the impulses to the next neuron? Yes.
Ma'am, and I also wanted to ask a question. Can I ask?
Hmm.
Ma'am, I asked you this question on your personal number as well.
I till now means like I just have open and then I not even read also. So that question your.
And
I
ma'am,
think
I had
some
also
audio
asked a
is there or
question
some.
on your
I
personal
think
number.
audio is there.
I asked one of the questions.
I'll clear that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
You are correct. Some means like last time you said something little. I was listen something that I will tell you in
Yes,
detail.
ma'am.
Inshallah, I will
tried
tell
to
you in detail.
explain.
Inshallah. You will get
Okay,
the detailed information related to your point, whatever you said to me. Okay, inshallah.
okay, ma'am.
So
Inshallah.
just now I was asking Shafaq. Yes, Shafaq, you were telling something. Abdul Rahim.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Now response is there. Yes, Abdul Rahim, tell me what is axon? Abdul Rahim, what is axon? Maria Yusufzai. Maria Yusufzai. Rahma Khalid. Azra. Azra.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me axon. Explain axon.
All right, ma'am. Ma'am, axon is a single and long fiber which emerges from the cell body. And ma'am, ma'am, axon is a branch forming axon terminals. And ma'am, each branch terminate into bulb-like structure which is known as synaptic bulb. And synaptic bulb contain neurotransmitters.
What does it mean, neurotransmitter? They are chemical which responsible for the nerve impulses or electrical impulses.
Yes.
They are the chemical. Yes. Then
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, there are also long axons which are called myelin sheath.
long axon enveloped or covered by myelin sheath.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, myelin sheath provides insulation to the axon.
Insulation means yes. Insulation means who will tell? Raise your hand for this. You have studied this in detail in physics. Insulators and conductors. Raise your hand for this. Okay, Nabiha.
Ma'am, about the myelin sheath.
No, insulation means what?
Ma'am, insulation
You must have
means,
studied
there's a
insulator
covering
and
over something that
conductors in
protects
physics.
it,
I'm sure you must have studied in physics this topic
Ma'am,
in
should I
detail.
tell?
Yes.
And should I try?
Yes.
Ma'am, insulation is a covering which protects something from getting injured.
Miss,
It's a protective covering and sort of insulation that protects it from other things.
it protects from the outer impulses. Hmm? Yes, what?
Covering which protects.
It protects the outer impulses.
warmth to the axon.
It protects the means like the outer impulses. Here the covering on the axon it actually prevent from of mixing of nerve impulses, because the neuron function is to carry the messages, and it is having insulation around it, so it prevents this insulation prevent the intermixing of the impulses. Fine, understood? So it prevent from of intermixing of the nerve impulses or the electrical impulses. Otherwise they are very near to each other, there are more chances to intermix the messages, and the work of the body will not be done in a proper way. So to prevent from this intermixing of messages, there is a sheath around it, that is called myelin sheath. In previous class I told you the myelin sheath is which nature? Fat, protein, carbohydrate, what is this?
Ma'am, it is made up of fat.
Okay, so it provides insulation to the axon, and the axon transmit impulses away from the cell. Always remember, cell body, away from the cell body. Why? Because the receiver are the dendrites, and then they just the impulses pass through the cell body to axon, and then axon terminal and the synaptic bulb. Then the terminal part of the axon, they just what they have to do, they transmit impulses away from the cell body, means they just send to the next neuron. So they send the nerve impulses to the next neuron. Okay, now tell me what is synapse? All the time hands are raised only. I am not understood for this question you raised, or it's just raised only.
Ma'am, for this question. Ma'am, should I tell? Ma'am, is this for everyone? Ready for all the questions.
Give chance to someone else also. Okay, Fatima, yes, you Fatima, you tell me what is synapse? Fatima?
Ma'am, there's a space between the two parts.
Two neurons.
The two neurons.
Neuron.
Yes, ma'am. You can say that between that dendrite is there, those synaptic bulbs which are there, there is a branch that are terminating that, and the other is that of the one neuron, the cell body, the dendrites are there, and between them there's a space, and that is called the synapse.
Yes, very good. So the specific or the special thing about it, that when you talk about means the tissue or the other cells, they just join end to end. But here there's some space in between the two neurons. They are not joined end to end. So that space is known as synapse, and that space is just to release the neurotransmitter in that, so that the nerve impulses can what you can say pass through it in the form of neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters are released in the synapse, and then they are carried through the neurons. The synapse is the gap between the two neurons, and the purpose is for to release the neurotransmitter there, because in the form of the nerve impulses or electrical impulses, the passages are passed through it, or the neuron carry the messages through that only. Now just raise your hand and tell me types of nerve cells, types of neuron. Yes, Dua. Dua.
Ma'am, there are three types of nerve cells: sensory neuron, motor neuron, and mixed neuron.
Sensory neuron, motor neuron, and mixed neuron or association neuron or interneuron. They the different name, but they are the same thing. Here, yes, this Ukasha. Yes, Ukasha, are you here in class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me, what are sensory neuron?
Are you speaking?
What are sensory neuron?
Sensory neuron, ma'am. These type of neuron, they carry impulses from sense organ to brain or spinal cord.
Okay, sensory neuron, they carry impulses from brain or spinal cord.
Organs.
From brain or spinal cord.
No, from sense organ to brain or spinal cord.
From sense organ. Sensory, it shows, the name shows that from sense organ to the brain or the spinal
Then
cord.
your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. Okay. Maybe because you have some connectivity problem, I think it's audible to others. Okay. Then here, Muhammad Adib. Just tell me the other type of, means explain the other type of neuron. One he told, two types are left. You tell me those two types. Adib.
Then the second is motor neuron. This type of neuron carry impulses from brain or spinal cord to the muscles and glands in order to respond.
A little, it's very low. Voice is very low.
Then these
Speak
type
a
of
little
neuron
bit louder.
carry impulses from brain or spinal cord to muscles and glands in order to respond.
Voice is not that clear, dear.
These type of neuron carry impulses from brain or spinal cord to the muscle and glands in order to respond.
So motor neuron means they are carrying the messages from brain to the, or from spinal cord to the muscles or the organ where the response to be needed, to the what you can say organ, from brain to the organ. And the next type, here's Adeep. One more is left.
The interneuron, these neuron connect a sensory neuron and motor neuron.
So these are the third category, third type of neuron. They are interconnected. means like sensory, if you talk about the
I'm sorry for interrupting.
organ to the brain, motor organ to the brain. But when you talk about this inter or mixed or association neuron, they are interconnected. The sensory neuron with the
Excuse me,
motor
ma'am.
neuron,
Am I audible?
they are interconnected. They connected means like from both the nerves, sensory neuron as well as the motor neuron. So they can relay impulses in what you can say between both sensory and motor, both. They can carry the message from in both direction, you can say. Okay. Now the next is part of nervous system.